We're going to be doing something a little different today. We're going to be analyzing a scene and talking about why it's truly important. I am a huge NisioIsin fan, and Monogatari is one of my favorite series of all time. It's my favorite light novel series and probably tied for my favorite anime. So let's talk about the moment that truly made me a fan of this work. My name is Detective Hemmings, codename Paperwork. I am the literary detective, and welcome to this case, an analysis of the Starry Skies scene in Bakemonogatari.
I love Monogatari, but you probably already know that. From the anime, light novels, and now even the manga that's being drawn by Oh Great. I enjoy this series in all its forms of media. The Monogatari anime is gorgeous, it's well directed, and is a fantastic adaptation overall. I believe when you start a new series, there's always like a fight, revelation, a moment that will have you truly hooked on the series. That moment where you're all in. For example, in One Piece for me, it's Nami repeatedly stabbing her arm, screaming Arlong's name. In Tower of God, it's the Test of Doors. I just found that whole game to be brilliant, but it's also the Crown game. So what I want to do in this video is talk about this scene that truly made me fall in love with Monogatari.
One more time.
So at this point in time, I am a fan of NisioIsin, but not like a super Stanley like I am today. It's a name I recognize from my first light novel ever, Death Note, Another Note, the Los Angeles BB murder cases, and one of my favorite manga of all time in Madoka Box, Nazayoka, I love you. Mwah. But yeah, here comes the Bakemonogatari series. Well, Bakemonogatari of the Monogatari series. This weird, abstract anime that's keeping me interested, but I'm not all the way invested yet. I'm loving the overall aesthetic, the dialogue, the humor, the characters, and then here comes Bakemonogatari episode 12. We got best girl candidate in Senjougahara Hitagi, who asked Koyomi on a date. Now at this point, their relationship is really weird to me, and the way it started always seemed strange, no matter how many times I see it. The way it started. Koyomi somewhat reflects my sentiments, but all that being said, in her own Hitagi way, she requests a date, and later on they are picked up by her father. Now, at this point in time, we know a lot about Hitagi's past and the family dynamic. How her and Kanbaru were the Valhalla Kombi back in middle school, and how her condition led Hitagi's mom into a cult where Kaiki was the catalyst for all of this, and how it destroyed her family. The attempted rape and leaving her and her dad with debt, leading into her giving the crab apparition her quote-unquote mother, so to speak, the weight and burden of it all. And we know Koyomi and Meme help herself get her weight back. We all know the story, this isn't a recap, but keep all that in mind because it's vital information. So we have the hilarious car ride scene where Hitagi is verbally torturing the poor man with her father in the car. I mean, it really seems like she's up to no good, but eventually the car comes to a stop and she leaves the man with her dad. But this is actually where our perception of the whole situation starts to shift, at least for me. Hitagi's dad addresses Koyomi after Hitagi leaves to go prepare something, and he mentions that he's never seen his daughter have so much fun in such a long time, and talks about him being very busy, not being able to help much with her situation, her condition. But now she asks her father for help, and she helps him out too, and he expresses his heartfelt thanks to him, seeing himself as a failure of the father, but he trusts his daughter's intuition and judgment, and says to Araragi to take care of her. She's changing slowly, opening up her heart to other people, because we know how hard her past was and how it made her extremely distant. She didn't talk to nobody. She cut off ties with a lot of her best friends. Kambaru and her were really close and, completely cut her off. But since what happened with Araragi, she's starting to open up more. Now, she comes back and forces Araragi to walk with his head down, and they reach a blanket. And she makes him lie down with his eyes closed. The camera closes up on his eye opening after he lays down, and it pans out, and we're treated to this absolutely beautiful night sky full of stars, which they look up at. And what would happen next is the moment that makes me like Hitagi as a character, makes me love this show through and through, and this is the moment where I start to care about their relationship. I'm rooting for them. I'm all in. I want them to prosper and succeed. So after explaining various things and constellations and stuff, she says this.
私が持っているもの全部勉強を教えてあげられること、可愛い後輩とぶっきらぼうなお父さん、それにこの星空。
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
Now, she hilariously undercuts all of this by saying she could also roast the shit out of him, but she's being extremely sincere here in opening up to him. She's letting him know, despite what she may have shown at the start, she's trying and she's absolutely fallen for him. She's afraid to lose him. That this is a spot where she used to come with her parents, her mother and father, that aren't together anymore. This is her treasure, and she's sharing it with him. And under that beautiful night sky, they share their first kiss. And boy, that scene resonated with me. It's gonna stick with me for the rest of my days. I love that moment. It's such a good scene. And this is the moment where I became really invested in Monogatari as a whole. And we all know the rest of the story. I'm a super stan. I won't stop talking about the series, but it was a really good moment. And I think it's so powerful for Hitagi's character a lot too. And you actually see her try more and more and start to change as the series goes along, especially when we see her in Hitagi Rendezvous later on, right? But that being said, wonderful scene. I love it. It's so beautiful. Hitagi is amazing. Monogatari is amazing. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gonna be out. Y'all have yourself a good day. Yeah.
I truly believe that scene to be important, and it truly made me a fan of this relationship of Koyomi and Hitagi, and it was very, very moving. I'm actually a huge fan of love and romance, especially in my storytelling, so as a result of that, it resonated with me in a deeper level. Consider this case solved. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.